Hello, good morning, and happy Easter to all joining us via Zoom and our Facebook live stream. Welcome to the Center for Enlightenment's exploration of the spiritual teachings, Jewels from Jane Elizabeth. Each Sunday will be a free-flowing adventure with teachings by Jane Elizabeth Hart, facilitated by certified Center for Enlightenment teachers. We are working with topics found on our website at cfenlightenment.org. Today's topic is Easter Energy is Within You. Greg Barrett will be the facilitator for this lesson. Greg is a certified teacher for the Center for Enlightenment and longtime student of Jane Hart, studying with her for over 35 years. Jane is the author of Spiritual Power Tools, Support for Your Soul, master teacher and founder of the Center for Enlightenment. Today's course will be live streamed via Facebook. A recording will be sent out with the weekly reflection so you can access it anytime. In addition to the Sunday courses, there will be a question and answer discussion on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. A link for these sessions will also be posted in the chat room. We are active on Facebook and X. Come check us out, share your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. It would also be a great support to like the postings that resonate with you. We also invite you to visit our website at cfenlightenment.org. There you will find additional self-study lessons, talks, videos, or you can search for specific topics to support your expansion in consciousness. So let's just sit back and take a deep breath. And let's begin today's journey with the prescription for spiritual alignment.
Let's tap into this Easter energy, which is the process of the unfoldment of your soul. So center yourself in your heart and know we are aligned with the presence of God within. We are protected by God's love, wisdom, knowledge, and grace. The God consciousness within helps us discover more about who we are. Thank you, God, for the gift of spiritual intuition. Thank you, God, for aligning our conscious, subconscious, and superconscious mind. Immersed in this Easter energy, we say thank you. Amen. You are immersed in this Easter energy. This Easter energy has come in and is coming in right now. No matter when you're watching this video, whether it's at another time of the year, Easter is a process. It's a process of the unfoldment of your soul, and it's happening here and now. Now, if you are fortunate enough to be watching this on Easter Sunday or near the time of Easter, there's an energy that specifically comes in that time of year. But that truth behind Easter is always present. So you can tap into this Easter energy right here and right now. Easter is a process, and we have talked about how the Palm Sunday experience is the expression of the desire of the heart for the triumphal entry into Jerusalem of Jesus 2,000 years ago, symbolizing the desire of our own hearts for the triumphal entry into our hearts, the piercing of our hearts, of that vibration and that energy that is Easter, the Christ consciousness energy. And then the experience of Good Friday is the releasing, the crossing out, and letting go of everything that is unlike that desire. So that's the commitment that we must make that gets tested. And Good Friday was that great test, and must be released and forgiven. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So this is the symbology of these first two steps of Palm Sunday and Good Friday, leading up to Easter Sunday, which is where the process of the unfoldment of the soul takes root, takes shape, begins to emerge and express. And that's where we put our will behind the commitment that we have made to the desire of our heart. So where are you right now in this Easter process? This Easter process energy is connecting you with God. But where's God? And what's God? Well, God is within you, and God is infinite. So, taking the religious words out of it, taking all the religious context out of it, let's just see that we are connecting with the infinite, because that's truly what God is. Infinite, beyond our understanding. We cannot define God. Everybody wants to put God in a box. But we're not going to do that, are we? We're going to experience the Easter energy as it is coming in, as it is experienced within us right now. More than anything, Easter is a process of the unfoldment of your soul. Can you feel it? Can you sense this energy? Just get quiet for a second and become aware that this energy is supporting you. Perhaps if this is Easter Sunday, when you're watching this, you felt this energy build up during the week. But whether or not you've been aware of it, this energy is coming in, has come in, and is here for you to tap into. This energy is supporting you as you move forward in the ongoingness of your soul. Now, there are specific ways in which this Easter energy is supporting you. This Easter energy has been giving you a push of sometimes divine discomfort, crises, difficulties in your life, a feeling of dissatisfaction, that push that moves you forward, that impetus that says, this is not enough, this is not what I wanted. My worldly life, my third dimensional life is not satisfying. I want something more. And then there's also a pull, a magnetic drawing to this understanding and this Easter energy. And that pull is that light, that vibration, that magnetic energy, that bliss, that happiness, that joy, that love, that peace that is moving us forward. And in this process, you are not alone. You are not alone. You have out of body teachers. You have your own infinite self, which is already in and expressing as Christ consciousness. It's just that you haven't awakened to it yet. That's why in the East, they call salvation awakening or enlightenment. It's the understanding of the light giving power from within, awakening us to the truth of our being. This energy, this vibration is emerging, becoming more visible, becoming more tangible, becoming more real to our awareness. It was always there, it's always real, but it's becoming more accessible to our awareness. And as you navigate this Easter process, you may have spiritual friends who will support you in this. You being supported from within with your out of body teachers, you're being supported by your infinite higher self, but you may also have friends who will support you and you can support them as well. We're here on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time for the question and answer support group. Those are spiritual friends that you can tap into. There are the invisible friends that are around you right now in terms of the people who are watching this video or have tapped into the energy of this video. You can ask for help. You can ask for the help of your higher self, of your out of body teachers, of the infinite consciousness that is God. This Easter energy has been coming in for you and is coming in for you. It's been coming in for you during the 40 days of Lent, that time of preparation. It's been coming in for you during Easter week, that special time of the year where every year it builds more and more into the consciousness, to the fabric of humanity's consciousness. More than anything, this energy is going to help you to make some moves, some changes in your consciousness, in your life. It pushes you, it pulls you, it moves you, it rocks your world, and it moves you off your stayed position, your stuck position, that what Jane calls the sticky gluey energy of the ego that wants to just kind of be comfortable and keep everything the same. This energy of Easter is helping you to move, and you are moving with it. You're receiving spiritual guidance every day. The only reason why we don't become aware of that spiritual guidance is because we haven't quieted our minds. In the quiet mind, In the silence of just taking a breath, spiritual guidance comes through. That's why, have you ever noticed sometimes your best intuitive ideas come to you when you're washing the dishes or taking the shower or watching the water boil or on a walk or when you're distracted from your mind? Well, you can cultivate that understanding of quietness by just meditating each and every day. You've got to be open to this understanding. You've got to be open to this vibration and this energy. And you become open to it with your meditation times, which it is so important. Must be every day. Every day, even it's so much more important for you to be consistent with your meditation than to try to do it all at once. So take a little time every day and then journal a little bit. Don't make a big deal out of it. In the Spiritual Power Tools book, there's a chapter on journaling that has 5 easy questions for journaling. If you got some problem, if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you just are curious, ask the question, answer the questions. What am I feeling? What's going on that's causing me to feel it? How is this a repeating pattern in my life? What's my soul telling me right now? And if my soul were in charge, not my ego, how would I handle things differently? This is a way to make it easy on yourself. A little bit of meditation, a little bit of journaling, being in your observer self. That is, unplugging from the media just long enough during your day to just have a little breather, a little space. When you're driving your car, you don't have to always blast the radio. You can just be in that space. Keep your channel open because intuitive guidance is always coming in. It's just that we're not quiet enough to discern it. So, this is called staying out of your head. And as a person with a big head in every possible way, I know how hard it is to stay out of my head. So I have to cultivate the quiet. It might, it probably will be a lot easier for you because I think most people don't have the struggle that I have to stay out of their heads. But through meditation, I'm able to manage it through journaling and being in the observer self and plugging into this energy because that's what emerges when you get quiet enough. And by plugging into this energy, you can take advantage of this incredible, infinite intelligence that knows all, that will take care of every problem you could ever imagine once you stop imagining it. This infinite intelligence will take care of all the problems you can imagine once you stop imagining so much about all those problems. When the guidance comes in, when the revelations come in, what do you do with them? Do you discount them? Do you say, oh, that can't be true? That's inconvenient for me. That doesn't make my ego feel good. Or, oh, that's just me making stuff up. Take another look at that guidance. Maybe get a little quieter and do your journaling questions. Do your journaling. You'll get your answers. Do you discount the veracity, the truth of the guidance that you're receiving each and every day, each and every moment? Do you say, oh, this just can't be true? I just don't buy this. And who am I to think that I receive spiritual guidance? Following your inner guidance is the only way that you are going to move forward on this journey of unfoldment of your consciousness, your Christ consciousness. And sometimes when Jane teaches, she said she doesn't use the term Christ consciousness because it does come with religious baggage in our culture. We think it's way out there, it's a religious thing, it's way up here, lofty. It's right here. It's what it's your heart. It's what's in your heart. It's not far away. As it says, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. This guidance is right here. Otherwise, you live your life stuck in the glue. Jane says that in the video that we're going to watch. You get stuck in the glue if you aren't moving and opening to the quiet confidence and strength of your spiritual guidance. Otherwise, you're in that sticky, gluey energy that trips you up. The whole purpose of the demonstration that Jesus made on Easter wasn't to give us somebody to worship on a Sunday morning, but it's to show us the way out of the third dimensional consciousness into the infinite consciousness of the fourth dimension, of the Christ consciousness, of the higher awareness, the higher self. Up until Easter, he'd been teaching that God and I are one, the Father and I are one. But then there on Easter, he demonstrated it, he manifested it. And this is where he actually showed everyone, demonstrated to everyone that it is possible to move from the third dimensional consciousness into the infinite awareness of the fourth dimensional consciousness. Now, was Jesus the only one to have done that? No. All world religions, all philosophies, and beings that we don't even know about, people who weren't public, whose mission was not to start a worldwide movement. This has been done by, I hesitate to say many, but there have been significant numbers of people throughout human history who have realized their awareness and awakened in God. And all of these beings, whether it's the Buddha or some other spiritual teacher, Krishna, or one of the great masters, they're all saying the same thing to us. They're saying enlightenment. They're saying awakening. They're saying salvation. They're saying expansion. They're saying the now moment. They use every kind of terminology there is. We are created in the image and likeness of what? Of God. And what is God? God is the infinite. And just as a baby cat, a kitten grows up to be a kitten, or a baby duck grows up to be a duck, our experience of ourselves as unfolding consciousness of God grows up to be God. The God in us expands and unfolds into that God consciousness. Jean puts it this way: we are waking up to the infinite possibilities of God consciousness, which lives and has its being in us. So we are waking up to the infinite possibilities of that God consciousness that lives and has its being in you right here. But we have to be the ones to flip the switch. We have to be the ones to take the step to practice meditation and the journaling and the observer self, and to have the desire, kindle that desire, realize you're not satisfied with this third dimensional world, and then back that up with your commitment, and then use your will to practice this each and every day. Open up that trap door that Jane talks about periodically, that we're in a box of the third dimension, but there's a trap door. We can move into an expansive, infinite dimension of being. Jane says in the video, we must do our part to uncover it. That means we've got to do our work. It's not something that is passive. When people talk about vicarious atonement, or he did this for me, so I don't have to do anything. That's why so many people who are religious are so ornery sometimes. I don't mean to be judgmental here, but sometimes it's easy to rest on your laurels when you think you don't have to do anything. If we don't do our part and take our step and take responsibility for understanding our whole self, we're wasting this opportunity that's been given to us. You've been given this life. The only place that this work can be done of realization is this life, the life in physical form. And Jane challenges us in the video. She says, say, I am a God being and I want to know more about who I am in God. Do you want to know more about who you are in God? Then say it. Say it within your heart. Say it silently right now. But it means doing two things. First is unplugging from this third dimensional world, and then plugging into the fourth dimensional world. So how do you unplug from the third dimensional world? You release those ancient patterns of thought, emotion, and behavior that you've carried into this lifetime, that karma, all that needs to be forgiven and released. You unplug from it by detaching from all the appearances of things, not taking things personally. And then the second thing is you plug into the fourth dimensional consciousness, unplug from the third and move into and plug into the fourth. And how do you do that? By getting quiet enough, meditating, becoming aware through your observer self of the energy, becoming aware through your journaling of the guidance that's coming forth. And Jane has a time in the video, she talks about people will judge you. And that's one of the big challenges on the spiritual path, not allowing ourselves to be defined by the judgments of other people. She says they are living in a little square themselves, just as we've been in our little boxes. And you will have to unplug from the judgments that other people have put upon you, whether it's a family member or whether it's a coworker or whether it's somebody in your life. What a ridiculous thing that is, she says. What stupidity that is to allow another person of limited consciousness to define you as you begin to release the limitations of your own consciousness. But in so doing, don't take any of it personally. My challenge was I would get self-righteous about it. And I'm better than they are. That does not work at all because I'm not better than they are. We're exactly the same on the inside. I may be at this point in my development, just like when I was raising kids, I could drive a car and my 2-year-old couldn't. That doesn't make the 2-year-old evil or bad or less than. They're just two. And if there are people in your world who are at a certain stage in development that they do not understand and even will judge you, as Jane says, it is a useless thing to allow other people of limited consciousness to define you. Just don't let anyone else's limited consciousness define you according to their own limitations. Everyone sees you through their own lens. Everyone sees you through their own filter. And that filter is actually the filter of the past lives that they have shared with us. And yes, you have shared past lives with every person who would take the time to judge you has known you in a past life. Otherwise, they would walk right by you. So they're looking at you with the eyes, the lens, the filter through the eyes and the lens and the filter of the judgments of the karma that they brought in about you, that thing that you did to them 500 years ago that was so awful, or that thing that was so wonderful that you did, that wonderful love relationship 1,000 years ago. Whatever it is, everyone's looking at you through the glasses of their karmic experience of you. And we do the same thing with them. I have had to unplug from social media because of my tendency, and I'm overcoming this tendency. But first, I have to unplug from it to plug into all the judgments I have about this person and that person on a political level or an authoritarian leader. And what I realized was that I brought in, and I'm looking through the lens of my own past lives, abusing power and oppressing other people. And yes, we've all had that role. We've all been the top dog and done it to other people. And we've also been the bottom dog and had it done to us. And so that's part of letting go of that limitation of the skewed consciousness that we look at the world. These judgments occur both on the positive and the negative side of the opposite. So we might look at something with rose-colored glasses, or we might look at something with very negative perspective through a negative lens, but it's all because of karma. We might look at something just thinking it's the best thing in the world. And there's nothing wrong with appreciating, but all of our perceptions are colored by the positive and the negative karma that we brought in from past lives. And Jane asked the question, where do we find the balance scale here? We've got to find the balance because this lifetime is a lifetime, among other things, of bringing our karma into balance. Where do we find that balance? How do we find it? Heart. The heart is where oneness resides. The heart is the seat of the soul, and the soul dwells in oneness. And it doesn't have all those opposites. The heart is above the opposites, beyond the opposites, deep within. As Jane loves to say, the center for enlightenment is within you. And that center for enlightenment is that oneness in your heart that doesn't judge. And this Easter energy has come in to bring to you a greater awareness of this truth. Jesus went through what he did so that you can do what you are doing. He cut the pattern in space and time. He blazed the trail that you're now following. And you say, well, what if I, does that mean that all the other world religions are wrong? Philosophies? No, because he's not the only one. But that Christ consciousness is the same consciousness, oneness in everyone. His resurrection says to you, you don't have to stay stuck in the third dimension and all of its limitations. You are moving into Christ consciousness, God consciousness, the infinite consciousness. So, are you taking advantage of this Easter experience, this great sacrificial act? And it had so much power, and we can tap into it. That's the whole reason for his demonstration, is so that you can tap into it. He wasn't trying to start a world organization, a religion. He was trying to show us the way to awakening, awareness, realization, God realization. Salvation is the same thing. So there's a great power this week that's pushing you, and there's a great power this week that's pulling you. It's moving you forward. And you are not limited. You're not stuck in that limited self anymore. This great energy is here to move you. Jane says, God is beckoning you. God is beckoning you to wake up to your God consciousness, to your Christ consciousness within you. You're no longer this limited, weak self. You don't have to play it small anymore. And I'm not talking about the ego getting all inflated in its head about how wonderful it is. It's not the ego at all. In fact, the ego is the only puny thing there is. The soul, the infinite self, the truth of your being is what truly is powerful. So, not playing it small anymore, moving forward into this greater consciousness. It's like we're on the surface of the ocean of life and we're being buffeted by the waves. The waves go this way, the waves go that way, to the positive opposites, to the negative opposites. And we just like a cork adrift on that surface. Deep within, there's still there's stillness there. There's quiet. The depths of the soul, the depths of the heart. When you go deep within beneath the waves, you find oneness. You find your heart energy. And your heart energy already knows. And Jane promises us, she says, I empower you to pick up your consciousness in hand and move to your next dimension of beingness. Pick up your consciousness in hand and move deep within. And that is where you find that next dimension of beingness. It's not way out here. It's not way up there. It's right. It's called the Christ energy of beingness. And where is it? It's not far away. It's right here. It's right here as you just get quiet, just become aware. You can feel it. Jane uses a beautiful analogy of this. She says it's like you already own this beautiful home, but you pass by it every day and think, wouldn't it be wonderful to live in that home? But I got to live in this little shack over here. You already hold title to that beautiful dwelling. This is another wonderful analogy that she shares. And she says, most of us just walk by it and worship it from afar on a Sunday morning. But don't just worship it, inhabit it, enter, experience it, take possession of the consciousness that you are. Move into it because you already own it. You already own the consciousness that you already are. She says, I say, walk into the God consciousness and let it teach you all that it is here to teach you. So move into it. This is the infinite consciousness that is ready, awaiting your awakening. It's ready for you to wake up to your awareness of it. She says it has a totally different wavelength, and you tune into it. You got to tune into the wavelength of it. You've got to get in alignment with it. And there are a lot of spiritual tools that can help you to do this. She gives a little plug in her video for her Spiritual Power Tools book, which is available for free at the Center for Enlightenment website to download. And you can also get it on Kindle and buy it from Amazon. But this little book is filled with methods of journaling, understandings of your soul, your intuition, how to access, how to forgive that and let go of that thing that you've been holding on to for all these years and decades. You can finally get free of it. And it's not just because it's a book, it gives you tools that you will use, that you can use to unfold your consciousness. So use all the tools that are there at your disposal. In fact, you can every morning just ask for guidance and say, what do I need to see today? Open the book and put your finger down. And here it says, the light of the superconscious penetrates your mind like a laser beam. So that was my message. This super consciousness is coming in to support us as you're watching this video. And Jane didn't just sit down to write a book. These were hard won for her. These were taught from within her, these tools, by her out-of-body teacher as she began her unfoldment. And she used these tools and then vowed that if she could have the opportunity, she would share them with other people. And they helped her. They were created to help her to move her consciousness into her own awakening and to show us that we can do the same thing. So use it every day. Ask for some guidance. And using these tools will move you deeper into your being, into your heart. This energy that we're experiencing right now, this Easter energy, is right here. We can't avoid it. Easter is here. It's not something that we can run away from. We can bury our head in the sand temporarily, but it's pushing us right now. Jane says, Easter is your time to wake up to your higher self. So use this time, whether it's Easter when you're watching this or not, use this time to awaken to your higher self. And it's coming in so powerfully to support you, and you can just tap into it. As I've used that analogy of catching a wave, you get up on the board and you let the wave move you forward. You are loved infinitely. You are supported and encouraged infinitely. You're strengthened from within. And this is what's moving you forward. You're empowered. Jane implores us, she says, please do not continue to dance in the opposites. Dancing in the opposites is fine for the evolving soul up to a certain point. But you are watching this video, so you most likely are at that point where the desire of your heart is for the truth of your being. Ask for some help, an awakening to the truth of your heart. Ask for some help in awakening to the now moment, which is the experience of it, the oneness that is right here. You are awakening to who you are. And at the end of the video, Jane gets into a meditation consciousness that really brings in this Easter energy. So when that time comes, make sure you're sitting, you're receptive, you're open, and recognize when she says, I see that light in you, igniting every cell and empowering you, that Easter energy is coming in. So you can celebrate your Easter self, your higher self, the center for enlightenment that's within you. You have the power within you to take these steps, to rise up in consciousness and to move. Let's watch Jane together as she welcomes in this Easter energy.
You have a connection to God. You have a connection that will support you as you move through this process. You are not alone. You have out-of-body teachers that are there for you. You have friends that are on the spiritual journey that are there for you. And this Easter energy is coming in, and it is going to help you to move. It's going to bring you revelations if you hear, and if you see, and if you use and take the advantage of having those revelations and not just poo-poo them and say, oh, well, I don't think, did I really hear that? I want you so well equipped to be able to say, yes, I heard this, and yes, I stand on it, and yes, I will do that which is mine to do about it. That's the only way you're going to move. Otherwise, you're stuck. You're stuck in the glue. You're stuck in the third dimension. Christ died, showing us the way out of the third dimension. Demonstrated to us that the Father and I are one. What is Jesus talking about? What are all the masters talking about? Buddha, all the other great teachers that we've had in the past. What are they saying to us? They're saying that we are God creatures waking up to the infinite possibilities of God consciousness, which lives and has its being in us. But we have to do our part to uncover it. Because if we don't do our part and step up to the plate and say, I am a God being, I want to know more about who I am in God, I'm going to not look and listen to the third dimensional world to tell me who I am, because they're living in a little tiny square themselves, and they're judging you according to their own standards of judgment. What a ridiculous thing that is. What stupidity it is. We let other limited consciousnesses judge us according to their past lives with us, perhaps, where they see us as the evil person that was in their life 600 years ago, or the grand person that was in their lives 1,000 years ago. What is it? Where is the balance scale here? Where is it? It's right here within you. You are your own center of enlightenment. It's Easter. It's Christ died and resurrected to say to you that you don't have to stay stuck in the third dimension, but move into God consciousness. The Father and I are one. Please don't let his sacrifice not help you to see who you are. That's why he sacrificed, so that you would learn that there is a higher power here within yourself that you can pull up and become conscious of. God is in every inch of your body temple. God is every vibration that you are vibrating on. God is beckoning you to wake up to your God consciousness. Wake up, humanity. You are one with God. You are not this limited soul floating around on the third dimension, letting the waves of the world and the ideas of the world push you from one side to the other side and to the other side of the opposites. I empower you to pick up your consciousness in hand and move to the next dimension of your beingness, which is the Christ energy of your beingness. It isn't way out there where you can't reach it. It's right here within you. It is not any further. It's right here. It belongs to you. Wonder if you had a beautiful home that belonged to you, but you never went in it. You lived in the little shack down the road. And every once in a while you walk by and you saw this beautiful house. And you say, oh, that is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. It is so filled with light and I can feel love from that house. I can never have a house like that. I can't ever afford it. But I'll go buy it once a week and love it and pay homage to it. But I can't have it. I'm just a mere mortal. Well, if that's the way you feel about yourself, then you're going to stay looking at the God consciousness of something you never can have. Well, I say walk into that God consciousness and let that God consciousness teach you everything that it is. Infinite consciousness, infinite intelligence. It has a wholly different wavelength. Get my spiritual power tool book and start to use some of those tools. They were created to support you because they were created to help me to move forward, and they help me immensely. They will take you home to your new consciousness in God. I cover all kinds of information about the God consciousness in that little book. And read it and say, God, show me what I need to see. Show me, show me, show me. Give me the power, the strength, the ability, the eyes, the ears to see. Let me focus on the higher and not the lower. The higher is the other dimensions of being. Pure beingness, pure love, pure energy. Easter is here. Easter is here. Easter is the time for you and for all people to wake up to their higher self. And that's why this Easter energy is coming in so rapidly right now to support you, to empower you, to love you, and give you the strength, and it does take strength, to move forward, to become all that you are. Please don't waste your life. dancing in the opposites. Ask to be taught how to stay in that now moment. Dedicate yourself to find out what that means. I send you my love. I send you my energy of my God consciousness, flowing in and through me to you, waking you up, opening up your eyes, opening up your heart, your intelligence, your intuition. This room is filled with light. Your room is filled with light. See the light. You are a body of light. And I see that light in you, igniting every cell, empowering you, for you are your own center for enlightenment. It's yours. Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. Celebrate it every day of your life. Every day of your life from this day on. I love you with all my heart. And I know what an important journey this is for you. But I also know that you have the power within you to take the steps you need to take on this beautiful Easter day. You have arisen to a higher consciousness. The Christ in you has arisen and will bless your life. And thank you for being a part of my spiritual family, with whom I'm so grateful for. I love you, support you. And I'll see you next week as we journey on with our new energy. Happy Easter.
This Easter energy has been coming in, carrying with it spiritual guidance and revelations. It's been coming in to move you in consciousness and to support that movement in consciousness. And the whole reason for Jesus's great demonstration was to show you the way to move out of the third dimension and into your higher consciousness, into your God consciousness. I invite you to come to our Thursday night question and answer support group. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern, and the link is in your chat room, so you can just use that link, or you can go onto the website. There's also a link there. And we welcome your generous support so that the Center for Enlightenment can continue to do this work in unfolding the consciousness of humankind. So the link is also in the chat room and on the website, so you can support this work. So this is Easter energy, and we're moving with it. Bye for now.